There we go. I think I've got things up and running and hopefully configured. I'm going to vamp for just a moment while I wait for my sound, to come through on the monitor. So I've actually got my microphone hooked up correctly again. Yes, pineapple of all shapes and forms are welcome here. The birthday man, Solar himself, was fortunately distracted today during Miss Silvermoon, so the pineapple was able to flow over there as well. All right, let's hear it for late players. Let me see, where am I? So I'm set up to work a little on my contracting here in SnowRunner today. I've finished all of the miserable log jobs. I am working on a contract right at the moment. It's one of those deliver 1,000 things from 40 different places all to one. I have delivered 6 out of fuel containers. I happen to have a truck all set up and ready to go to pick up the last 2 that I need. Unfortunately, it is the loudest truck I own, so I have attempted to modify the game volume to be a little bit lower. So when this bad boy here fires up, he's not too bad when he fires up, but once I start driving, he gets pretty noisy. Let's fire him up. That sound level isn't so bad. What gets you good is this one. This one has the good horn. This is the Tatra T813, big beefy 8-wheel monster. It has, unlike some of the others that have full-time all-wheel drive and diff locks, this one I have to engage the all-wheel drive and it'll only do diff locks in low gear. So I often forget that and wonder why this truck is suddenly stuck. The real champion on this truck though is the horn. That's what I had to modify the volume level a little bit for to accommodate, because that thing could almost hit the red when the rest of the game sits down in the green. Turn on headlights for safety. Turn on beacons for safety. And let me double check that. So to complete this contract, I've already done the first round of... oh, yeah. If you're still in Michigan, I think everything there has the engageable all-wheel drive and diff locks, so those are nice to finally get rid of with some of the bigger, better trucks. But at least this one, when they're engaged, they do really well. Yeah, this particular horn, this is the good horn, so I'll be a little sparing with that. But let's see, I've already done the first round of deliveries with this one, the big old long list that included building and delivering 2 cabins. I've noticed that up in the corner, I gotta get the angle way up in the corner up there, it still lists the cabins even though I'm in the second phase of this contract, but it does show that they've still been delivered. I have this sneaking suspicion that what some people have tried to do is build the cabins, deliver them, and then take them away and then try to re-deliver them, possibly even on follow-up contracts, so that may be their way of keeping you honest on that by keeping the requirement up there, even though you've already fulfilled it. So let's see, I've got 2 more fuel tanks, and in fact, I can pick up the fuel while I'm sitting here talking. This is one of the warehouses out there that has an unlimited supply of the fuel canisters. My MO in this game, on this particular map, because this one puts a heavy emphasis on limited availability of supplies, is first, I'll work my way around the map collecting all of the limited edition versions of any of the pieces of equipment. For the most part, that ends up translating to all of these like metal framing, wood framing, and brick framing, all these houses that you steal from. I'll run around and I'll collect all of those first before I'll start looking at warehouses. And then warehouses that have limited supplies of things, I'll take those first. And then finally, I will end up down at places like this warehouse that have an unlimited supply of any particular given good. Usually those warehouses like this one exist in the corner of a map somewhere so that it's a larger drive for all of them. But that's the way they've set the game up. To give myself my own level of difficulty, of course, I have been collecting all of my little one-offs from the more remote places first. So yeah, all of my wood and brick and metal on the core island, most of them are still in place. I have just reached the point where I've now cannibalized out here on the secondary island, and The last game I played, which wasn't streamed, which was probably too bad, I was up here in the snowy area. I was driving around with the Twin Steer, which is a really long 8-wheel truck that can hold 4 slots of cargo like it was a trailer, except it's all truck. And weaving and balancing that thing up and down the hills and leaning over rocks and everything, I was flipping it every 50 feet. But did manage to finally get that yanked out. So the metal rolls I need, I can build them on this map, but I have a bunch that are already available on the other map. So part 2 to get this finished, I'm going to be heading over to Big Salmon Peak, where I've got a truck staged up, ready to go. And it's going to I'm going to bring a lot of metal rolls over in one shot. I'm going to bring more than the trailer's designed to allow, just to give myself the extra opportunity to really screw something up. First, we're going to do the fairly short, fairly easy drive, as long as I don't flip or sink in big water holes, which would be like me. But you know what? I better... I think I have to turn it on separately on the full screen. There we go. Okay. Flip counter is ready to go. And to go with the truck, today we are debuting a few newly approved emotes. Ooh, interesting that the emote wall doesn't actually animate the animated icon. But I think if I do a drop on it, there we go. That one will spin as it falls. It's the little things. Okay, that was me. There's some wood ripe for the plucking a little later. So let's see, I am completing the ore sorting center now. I already have the gold mine refurbished up on the hill. That's the one that there was one delivery. I was trying to deliver the cabins, actually. And there's a way you can drive, you can drive them around through the valley. That's probably the normal way. Or I picked them up near the rail station, and I thought, ooh, hey, while I'm here, this would give me a good opportunity to drop off a backup fuel tanker at the gold mine, because this was one of the early pieces of that contract I was doing, and I'm going to need to refuel a lot up there. So let me swing by. I'm going to pick up a fuel trailer. I'm going to drop it off at the mine, and then I'm just going to casually drop down the hill to go deliver these 2 cabins. There's one hillside. All you have to do is drive straight across it. There's not even any up or down, but it's a solid 45-degree angle the whole time across, most of the time across, and it's got a couple of ripples as you go across, and it's got a ton of those giant monster rocks that like the flip trucks. And I have these big old high center of gravity cabins sitting, one in the bed of this truck, and one in the bed of one of the short 2-slot sideboard trailers, which is really handy almost everywhere, except in that case, because no matter what I did, that stupid trailer would tip somewhere along the way. And I got pretty good at being able to get it about 2/3 of the way across, and then I would flip it, and the cabin would tumble halfway down the hill to the cliff's edge. And at one point I was thinking, if I could just push this stupid thing over the edge, then I can grab it with a crane down at the bottom and deliver it, because it's only a good 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet from where it needs to go. That'll work out great, but I could never even get it to push straight because there were so many stupid rocks in the way. So I had a real low power low power crane on a separate small truck. It couldn't get everything to go all the way across. All I could do was pull it back to where I started. And I think I spent 3 hours trying to, well, I'd say charge across, but I was in low gear, and I was, just feathering the gas very lightly. I was moving a couple of inches at a time, letting it bob and rock and bounce just that little tiny bit so that it wouldn't throw itself over. And inevitably I would find a spot. Never the same spot twice, it seemed, but I would always manage to get myself in a position where it would bounce just a little too hard. That stupid trailer would tip sideways. And then finally I decided, you know what, I give up. Let me go get the big crane. I'm going to drive it up the hill. I had it pluck the cabin up off the ground, and then that one truck with his cabin flinging around in the air just casually drove to the other side of the slope. And then this truck, pulling the empty trailer, blazed right across with no trouble whatsoever. And what I'd spent 3 hours trying to do the hard way just to prove something to myself, I did the hard way in about 10 minutes. So, moral of the story, give up trying. So that's my new motto in here. Well, in fact, I accidentally just drove past it, but that giant train truck actually had to save this truck last night when I was playing a little, because I did not see the giant hole on one side that I plunged the right side tires down into and thunked it on its side. Rather than messing around with the winch, because for a while I still had the engine running. Rather than mess around, I just brought in the big crane truck. So it's sitting kind of halfway in the woods, just waiting for me to flip something over again. Oh, don't fall off. That would be me to plunge off the already constructed bridge. That was not diff lock, those were the headlights. Probably need those. That's okay, phone calls are good too. We'll call a phone runner. Thank you for the lurk. We'll keep a pot warm for you. That's my new slogan. I'm workshopping it. Yes, active drive. I guess they don't call it drive, they call it automatic. Oh, hey, I am almost here to deliver my fuel. Oops, twin headlights for some reason. Big rock on our right is my favorite one to take my eyes off the screen for just a second and a half and discover that I've put a tire up on top of it. It hasn't been enough to flip me yet, but I know it's coming. Hey, here's that twin steer. I just kind of parked it here after doing the last delivery. Go ahead and shut this all down, and I've got 2 pallets of fuel tanks. I'm not exactly sure what the nomenclature is. So that leaves me with 6 metal rolls. The right button? Yeah, the right button. So I'm going to hop over to Big Salmon Peak. I've got my King Tega already set up over here. Oh, okay. He's not at the pickup point. He's at the garage. I remembered to equip this one with the chain tires again, because I have to go back and forth over that big hill. That's not impossible, but excessively difficult to come back over if you don't have chained tires. Ends up being a lot of winching required, so gonna remember the chains this time. I've also found that with a heavy load, it helps to downshift into one of the 2 lowest gears. Even though I've got the giant motor in that truck. Here we go. Okay, we're only down 2 liters of fuel. That's passable. Turn on beacons. I've accidentally left my my good buddy, the big beefy Azov, sitting over here on its mountain perch, waiting to perform repairs and/or refueling. So I figured I probably wasn't quite done with this map yet, so I just let it sit there. May bear fruit today. messing around with the Tatra and the Twin Steer for a while. So it's been a little while since I've run the Tega. It's got a real nice power to weight ratio. It still has to downshift on a lot of the obstacles here, but blares right through them with minimal tire spin. You never know that hill is a little icy. But his horn isn't as good, but it's also not as loud. We got trade-offs. Definitely going to do the metal roll overload because it's fun. Trailer's only got 5 slots for cargo. Each metal roll takes 1 slot. But I have found that I can conveniently balance an extra 4 on top of the 5. And then if I hang on to a 10th roll with the crane, kind of keep it perched right behind the cabin there. Especially when I'm not needing to do any winching. I've actually had pretty good luck with carting around the double load of those rolls. So yeah, I've finished the gold mine. I believe with these metal rolls I will have finished the ore sorting center. And then there are 3 conveyor belts that you have to do delivery missions for. I think they're all just single phase instead of these big 2-phase large buildings. But I am pretty sure that's at least one, if not all of them, are going to require more of these metal rolls. I can build some on the other map, but I've got, I believe, a grand total of 26 of these rolls already built, ready to roll on this side. Oop, nope, not high. There we go. Low plus, just to help me maintain my speed down the super icy hill. So I found that if I come down in full auto, the cab does okay with those chain tires, but the trailer has no such benefit. And I have more than once had that thing try to pass me on the open highway. Then you get that little info text that it gives you all about jackknifes when you're busy loading a new map and you got nothing to do but read the little info texts. I have not taken this cutoff in a while. I think this one, the snow gets a little crappy. I'm going to give it a quick test while unloaded. I know that there's a rail line a little farther over that's really extra super convenient, but especially when you're loaded with stuff, sometimes those rails get you in this weird slide where you can't quite climb over them. And, more than once I've ended up sliding a little too far down the rails, and you can't really back up, and you can't go forward, and you have to start yanking things across, and that's when metal rolls start to come flying out of the bed. So this isn't the worst, but it's not the best. I may risk the rails when I'm coming back with a full load. Especially if it's already getting stuck right here. Don't disappoint me, Tega. Let me get off the quote-unquote road. not speeding up because I've got them locked into low plus. Should help. Should also still have a fuel trailer sitting over here. Yeah, there it is. Come back for that next. Already checked out. I've got stuff sitting in both of these warehouses, but the one, oops, straighten out, the one with the travel marker on it, that's the one that all it has left in it is the 10 rolls that I am looking for. Oops, nope, nope, nope. Turned too sharp. Too soon. I don't suppose I can do this the cheap way? No, it is worth a try. There we go. What I want to do is get this lined up right alongside that loading dock. Enough room for me to still get the cab squeezed in. Oh, straight and back out a little. What do I actually? No, okay. I have to be able to get my rear wheels, not just the trailers, in there in order to trigger the auto load. This should do it though. There we go. Set that. I need metal rolls. Yes, there are 10 of them left. So load up the trailer. Put one on the platform. This will take us a minute now. It'll only let me put one on the platform at a time. Okay, let's set that right there. I shouldn't need the anchor, he says right before tipping his truck sideways. Actually, I've got stuff on both sides of the truck. I should probably be fine, right? Okay, let me work on setting you back here. Spin, please. There we go. I am pretty sure that on PC, when you tell it to spin the cargo, it actually spins it a little faster than it does here on console. Is that down? It's down, yeah. Let's see if I can center that just a little bit. Nope, too much. To get it spin. There we go. There we go. That's exactly what I want right there. Oops. X. And load another onto the platform, boys. We got a lump for ourselves. Unlike the quick travel of doing the retain and redeploy your truck between maps, you got to do your manual loading actually by yourself. Actually, let me do the spin there. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Settle down in there. Right there, that looks good. Down, free to go. Oops. Go up. spin going. Bingo. 2 left. Get that down closer this time. Just gonna be sure I clear these others that I've loaded first. There we go. Decide based on the angle whether I have to spin in reverse or not. Both the cargo and the crane. That raises, this lowers. Bingo, that'll work. And then one more onto the platform. Pluck you into the sky. Okay, you hang out right there. Don't do anything dumb like make me tip the truck sideways. Another valid reason to keep that Azov sitting over here on this map. Connect the trailer. Okay, well, connect the trailer made me drop thing. That's okay. I was emotionally prepared for that. Lower it so it flip. There we go. This way, please. And let it kind of sit up here toward the front. Keep spinning. There we go. It would be nice if it would sit just a little bit farther back. There we go. Okay, that'll do. Should be away enough from the one behind it that if I have to make a really hard turn, it shouldn't knock the one behind it down. Quick refuel. Immediately make one of those slightly harder turns. Wait, yeah, you gotta zoom with the other stick. Okay, 4 balanced on top and 1 being held with the crane, and away we go. Let's see which side. I think I needed to stay on this side of that pole. In fact, I think I can ride the outside the poles most of the way down here. Trailer got a little unhappy there, but we're straight. I think this one here is where I need. Yeah, now I need to cut the inside. Because if I stay to the outside, then I don't have enough space to make this turn. This car can push. Screw you, red car. Gladly trade 3 points of engine damage for the quick route through there. Awesome. Quick little victory horn. Now we're back on the superhighway. Couple of stretches of ice to have to keep in mind. I'm pretty sure I've got the equipment and the gear memory to get all the way over, at least to the next map, before I have to start worrying about paying closer attention to what I'm doing. Doesn't rule out the possibility of bouncing one of these stupid rolls out of the back of the truck, though. Because if anything was easily repeatable in SnowRunner, then it wouldn't be any fun. Downshift now, so keep my power up to pull this hill. Because even when it's not icy, this is a steep hill. Country music for driving. Hey there, Mr. Azov. We'll get you some use someday. Maybe as I move on to the conveyor belt contracts, I'll check them first to see if there's any more metal roll requirements. Come back to get whatever else I need to finish those off, and then I can bring the Azov back over to the flooded foothills. Let it put in a good day's work. Stop being an unused truck ambulance. Downshift, keep from jackknifing again. Just take this cut off because I wasn't looking where I was going and I was kind of already committed over here. Still got all my rolls. Okay, I need to deliver 6. In my first stop, I think the warehouse I'll go by first is actually the cabin construction facility in the flooded foothills. I believe I can. Oh, wait, I want to downshift here. Nope, that's upshifting. There we go. I believe the cabin construction works as a generic storehouse, so I can drop 4 rolls there, which should then allow the 4 balanced rolls to drop into the bed, so I can just quick pack them. And I'll have a nice 5-pack plus the one on the crane. That will allow me to deliver the truck empty. I'll have to think about the logistics on that. Whether it's easier to just carry all of those with me to the final delivery point so that they're closer to where the conveyors are. That's the fun puzzle for me with this game. Kind of like that normal mode, for the time being, it effectively does away with the financial requirement, so I can just keep it kind of logistics. But eventually I'm going to come back through on a hard mode play, and then money becomes very important. Because almost everything you do costs a little bit of coin here and there. There's no refueling or recovering with abandon. Actually, you can't even repair with abandon. Okay, map transfer. I'm gonna give myself a free hydrate. Welcome back to the stream, Mr. Sock Monkey. Ooh, that mug is very full. Almost put on a water show. back to the other half of the Yukon. Ooh, hey, that roll is moved. Oh, that's because it shuts down your engine, which means it automatically releases. Let's see if I can actually... There we go. Get that back into a safe position before I go any farther. So, there's the cabin construction site. So what do I got? What does Conveyor 1 want? Consumables, fuel, and beams. So, nope. Section 2 wants none of them. Section 3, oh! It wants the other 4 rolls. How perfect is that? What's even more perfect than that is that this is where I'm going right now. So it's just feet away. Oh, mwah. Chef's kiss on... We're going to give credit to the scenario designers there. They obviously knew that this was the nonsense that I was going to put myself through. Beautiful. So I'm about to get a twofer here. This also means I've got a 3/4 of a metric crap ton of these metal rolls just left hanging out over there in the Big Salmon Peak. Which the OCD in me is kind of bothered by. Usually when I hit the 100% for tasks and contracts and everything in a map, I like to run around and make sure that everything's cleaner than when I first found it. So I'll collect all the trailers that are there as part of the map, and I'll sell all of the extras off. Actually, I'll sell all the trailers off. I will sell all of the extra vehicles off that I've been rewarded. I will retain away any of the extra vehicles that I know that I'm going to want to have available for the next map. And then I have been attempting to use up all of the limited goods first so that they won't show up on the map anymore. I think, yeah, there was the ice fishing cabins in Kola. Those are the ones that even after you delivered them and completed their tasks or contracts or whatever they were on, they still showed up on the maps as effectively trailers. But you couldn't take them away to sell them. They just sat there forever, and they were always items that you could select on the map. So it made me feel like I was leaving it incomplete, but I've had to have therapy sessions over it, but I think I've been able to let it go. So this time around, I am absolutely going to have extra stuff left lying around in some of the warehouses. And I will probably end up having a few of those houses where I'm not going to be able to scavenge the stuff away. Could run around, grab it all, scavenge it off to a storehouse, but that might be even a little bit too much for me. Especially this stuff that I can leave leftovers sitting in the warehouses on the other map. That'll be good enough. I don't think I have any scavengeable houses left on the mountain. I think I actually ended up having to use all of them to complete the tasks that I had over there. This map, 100% guarantee I'm going to have some left over. I don't think there's enough things to deliver in these last 3 contracts to actually make use of all of them. I'm still going to give preference to them. Oof. Over any of those warehouses that have infinite supplies of the resources. Oh, well, this is unpleasant. Okay, I'm going to have to let go of that metal roll there. Ooh. This is a weird place to get stuck. Go from the back of the trailer to that light pole back there. See if I can get myself pulled back out of this mess. Oops, nope, don't turn your wheels that way. That is not the way we want to go with it. Reattach the winch. Oh, oops. I didn't mean to stay in winch mode. Get into the lower gear and see if we can get turned before I get high centered. Crap. Okay, we're going to try a slightly different tack here. Try pulling mid-trailer in the hopes that'll kind of keep it straight for me. Don't pull it too far over. There we go. This is what I wanted the first time. Okay, let me reattach. Go back to the lower gear and let me hit it at an angle this time. There we go. I was a little too close. Perpendicular the first time, and I think I hooked a gas tank on the rail. That seems like a bad thing to do. I still have all of my pretties. Yes, I do. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top row. 5 still packed. Good to go. Gear up, hammer down. Okay, maybe not too much hammer. Otherwise we start bouncing. Happened to have seen one of these Yukon missions I ran earlier. I used to have this trailer parked on the other side of the tracks, but it turns out it was really a pain to access for absolutely every mission I ran past it. Almost nothing came straight through this parking lot, made the chicane over the tracks, and then went out that other path. Because I stopped going that other direction when I discovered that that rail line, except when you hook a gas tank on it, actually is much more convenient for getting over there to the cabin construction zone. So I have finally moved it over to a more convenient location. It was even in a bad spot when I needed to pick up stuff at the railway station on that side of the rails, because I had to overshoot the turn that I needed to make to get back over the rails to take that back path. Keep going, Tega. Here you go, I'll downshift you. Oh, those rocks. The invisible trees that hook up trailers are usually the ones that get the most bad rap. I think I need to mow this tree down. Yeah. Nope, don't lean that way. That's the wrong way to lean. Now remember, don't lean back this way either. Let's just get back off, oh nope, that's too far. Let's just get off the tracks and pretend everybody's cool. There we go. Oh yeah. Those rolls nested down in each other. Do a nice job of holding tight. The trip up to the gold mine, I needed a bunch of these rolls, and I had some of those fuel tanks all loaded up. And I decided that balancing the fuel tank on top was going to be problematic. So I went ahead and I packed it in the trailer and then set one of these rolls on top of it. And yeah, it gave a really good demonstration of how good these rolls are at holding each other in, because that one sitting on top of that nice flat-topped fuel tank kept falling off every time I take a corner. boogie over the tracks. Everyone boogie nice and gentle. No need to over boogie. There we go. Let's try to not drive into trees. I understand the temptation, though. So if it happens, it happens. It's usually a good spot for losing things, but nope, it held on. I've barely used any gas at all since the rail station, but it's free, because I'm in normal mode, so I'm going to take it. A little gas station music. Gives me flashbacks to living in the Midwest with the little TVs and the gas pumps. I know they've got them in California, because I've been there plenty of times to see those, but here in the Pacific Northwest, I don't believe I've actually ever seen any. Which kind of makes sense in Oregon, since it's illegal to pump your own gas. That could be a fun rant for another day. Ooh, destination building in sight. Ow. Oh my god. No, not into the river. Okay, so all that commentary about how these things do a great job of supporting each other, that doesn't count when you hit a physics rock that proceeds to then toss everything into the air. Let's see. I just want this to happen the easier way. No, I need to go up, not down. Because I need you to spin. I need you to spin. Okay, you're spinning. I need you to spin faster. Put on the hold music. And drop this one into that spot. That'll make this, well, I'm hoping this would make this a little bit easier, a little bit faster. You only have couple hundred, maybe 1,000 feet left to go. Oh wait, can I snag it from up here? I have pretty strong doubts about it, but oh, thank you, physics engine. Okay, I don't have to detach and then go hunting for it down there after all. I actually get to do this the straightforward way. As long as I can get this crane to go up. Go up a little more. Tell you what, that is good enough for now. So we literally just have to go around this long bend up here. 1, 2, 3, 4 on top. Is everything still packed? Yeah, the other 5 are still packed, so we're good. Stop bouncing. Don't make another liar out of me. Oops, let's try not to completely leave the road surface. It's just its way of demonstrating my earlier concept about trees get the bad rap, but the rocks are the real physics demons. That and the roots that live underwater where you can never ever see them. Okay, cargo management. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a doorbell. That was kind of exciting. I must have a delivery. Yeah, it can wait. And let me see. I just need to deliver one more metal roll. Release the winch. Restore the crane. Pack the cargo. And deliver. Contract victory. gold mining is now officially started. I think it's already officially started. The ore sorting center is built. Finally, we can sort ore. Ooh, they got 36,000. I think that's the highest payout I've had so far. 4,340 XP. It's too bad you can max out your levels in the base content. I guess this is for people that like the extreme challenge of going straight to DLC maps. Let me come check down here real quick. Contract that leaves just the 3 conveyor belts, so I'm at 95% complete on the Yukon. All the vehicles, all the watchtowers, all the upgrades. Yep, just those 3 to go. And if we come up, I need to go to this one. Check the global map. Ooh, gold mining started, but it's not going to complete it, I bet, until the conveyor belts are all done. Yep, they are all tied to the global doohickey. So is it number 3? That's the one that needs the metal rolls. So let me go ahead and start that one. Oh, interesting. It wants cabins out of cabin zone 1, but I already did 2 cabins for the gold mine out there. So it looks like those actually automatically already count. Well, that's helpful. Awesome. I'm not sure. Nope. Don't recover. In fact, stop. Just stop for a second. Everything is unsafe without the beacons on. Okay, got 4 rolls left. And I need 4 rolls over here at conveyor section 3. Looks like I'm also going to need some bricks. I think that was a brick house. Sorry, brick house right over there next to it. So I'll probably go grab some of those real fast. Have to go through water to get to the drop-off point? Yeah, I may not have to. Let's see, is that one? Yes. Okay, brief timeout there, but it looks like we have self-recovered. So I see bricks over here. I'm not sure if it's crazy and thinks it wants me to drive along this little rock shelf road versus cutting through the trees, but we're gonna go over there and take a look and see what's doing. I don't think there's enough room along the I'd call that a pipeline? Conveyor line? I guess it's conveyor line. That's an ore sorting center, and the ore comes from the mine up on the hill and goes through that big pipe. They must actually have a conveyor belt system built inside the pipe rather than being an oil pipeline like on the Alaska map. Ooh, wow, they definitely built this up a little on the harsh side to discourage you from just blaring off across the dirt there, especially with the trailer this size. I want to take a look that way. How clear is that? I'm willing to bite here. Let's come take a look at what this shelf road is like. This has a super sketchy feel to it. winch up for safety. Okay, got a nice pivot. Okay, I didn't fall off the rock. This super feels like a terrible idea over here, though. I may want to come in. I may want to bring in that Tatra. Oh, I absolutely did not mean to super rotate the trailer there, but if it works, it works. Don't need the 4-slot trailer just to get 2 loads of bricks anyway. So let me get off this path. Actually do a final delivery over here. I'm going to park on the other side. Just in case it walls this thing off. Stop it. I'm going to park you right there. Let me go find the loud beast, because at least it's nearby. And come back this direction. So, lucky for me, the beacons on kept me safe on that little rock shelf. I am pretty sure that with that trailer dragging out behind me, there was close to no way I was going to be able to get everything all around. Oops, no wheel. There's that shelf road in Kola where all of the hardcore streamers like to pull the giant trailer with the big old hunk O airplane along there, and there's the one kind of narrow notch with the slippery stuff in the middle, and you got to winch to rocks and trees in order to get over. And I tried that one once just to see how bad it really was, and it was super bad. And ended up finding a different way to do that route instead. I've got the feeling that that's how that little shelf road over here was going to end up playing out for me. I would be able to get the nose of my truck pointed around right where I wanted it, but then that trailer would swing out wide, disappear over the edge, and then just swallow us up whole. Which I assure you, in Truck Ease, is not as appealing as it might sound. I am gonna highly suspect that I can't just bully my way along the conveyor down there. It would be easier to tell if it wasn't always nighttime. But I have a very strong suspicion. So let's throw it down into the crawling gear. See if I can get these stupid 8 wheels to turn. Not normal, the answer there is no, not really. Try it again. There's a path ahead of me. I can get over these small rocks. Stupid forest. I can kind of see a little. I think I'm going where I don't really want to go, but that's okay. chances where first-person mode might actually work out for me. Back out for a little bit. Get low and turn on the diff lock. Doing that lean on the couch to see around trees thing again. I think I'm actually going to get through here. Gear up. All right. After I've done all that, would it have just let me run along the little coastline there? I wonder if that was their design. Actually, their design was probably balancing along that horrible road. Which, I don't even like the looks of it from this side. Going this way, though. Throw on the diff locks. Let me see. Oh, hey, there's road tracks down there. I'm thinking Mr. Smarty Pants tried it the really hard way the first time, the medium hard way the second time, so I'm going to see if maybe this just translates to the easier way this time. This truck doesn't have really good mud tires, but it's got really good off-road tires that'll have to be the next best thing. Where am I? I am just off the corner, but the conveyor comes in tight there. Let's just go ahead and go on around. I may not even need the crawl gear for some of this. This is a little suspect. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, I fit that. I do have to deal with monster rocks, but hopefully I shouldn't get going fast enough to flip myself. I have to hope that I can manage to not center myself. I'm hoping that there's trees close enough over there, but it's dark again, so I'm not positive. There we go. Beachcombing. Far enough that I could try. Crushable trees I can come through? Yes, they are. On to ore processing grounds. I'm inside the fence. I'm no security risk. I'm fine here. I'm not delivering here. Excuse me. Ow. Ow. Loop back around. Drop off at the conveyor. Put on my mud locks. Great big loud victory horn. Normally in my rubric for selecting where to go get stuff from, I would have started with a farther away set of bricks, but I had a feeling that with where they placed that shelf road, that this would actually be one of the harder ones remaining for me to get to. Oh, so that one I think made a nice choice for making an early run on. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure what that was, but apparently I'm trying to drive over it the hardest possible way. I think I may have avoided the warranty on this truck here by doing whatever it was I did to stuff hiding in the water. KDP! Oh, look at that. Already finding some of the newly approved emotes. Let me switch back over to the noisy truck. Fire that up. I'm going to give you the loud horn, just in case you missed it earlier. And I'm going to deliver the first half of the bricks. So I need 2 bricks and a concrete slab. I can fit all of that into the other truck. So I'm going to start by backing him out of the construction zone so I don't get yelled at next time. Change back over to the Tega. Lights and beacons are all still on for safety because safety is #1. Let's see here. Concrete slab. That I'm going to have to go build. There are no concrete slabs left lying around in the world. So I need to go find 2 boxes of cement. I don't know exactly, but 2 slots of cement. Twitch didn't want me to know you were live. What? How did... You know what? From the... I really kind of got involved with Twitch back at the beginning of pandemic lockdowns. That's when I set up my account. And I think for the first month, maybe 2, when I was watching streams, I would get the email notices. And then they suddenly stopped. Until about a month and a half ago. All of a sudden, I started getting my announcements again. And I discovered that I had a whole lot of follows turned on that I really didn't want notifications for necessarily, but I was suddenly getting a lot. So I had to go through and make a bunch of adjustments. So there is precedent for things to just kind of stop one day. But at least for me, they were stopping across the board, not just for me. So obviously what that translates to is, as my nemesis, I've been attempting to block you. Navigate this little bit of water. I think I've done this route enough to be slightly confident that I'm actually going the way that I want to go. Overshoot the starting garage to get to the warehouse that has the cement. I need to pick up 2 of those. And then I need to come back past the garage again, go out a different direction to the... I think they call it the cement plant, even though they don't actually have cement there, but they will turn the cement into a concrete slab, which is what we need. And then, you know, just somewhere along the way, I'm going to end up passing a brick house. Rather than explicitly going way out of my way like I have in the past, I'll just grab the nearest set of bricks I can so I can make one delivery to finish off this contract. The good news for you is that Nico does stalk me. Since Sandwich is on hiatus, Nico has decided to start stalking my streams instead, which is great. That works out fine for me. Lets me know that the chat's actually working when I get things fired up. He's also an excellent sound quality engineer. Yes, I know I'm Twitch's nemesis. Those 3 emotes that were auto-approved, and then the 3 emotes that took almost 2.5 weeks for approval. They approved 1 at 2 weeks. And then they, there's a big hole there. And then they took another half a week to go ahead and approve the other 4 that I had all sitting out at the same time. Okay, when I realize that I've passed my fuel trailer, maybe I've got enough to get back, maybe I don't. I'll I believe I've got the good old Ford F-750 waiting there in the garage. And I've got it all kitted out with all of the spare fuel tanks it could carry. So it may have to come and save me. Oh, actually, you know what? It's sitting up on top of the mountain where it had to do that exact thing for the twin steer when I was busy bouncing it around through the hills and the snows. It brought up, I think, 330 liters of fuel in the spare tanks to refuel that truck, because I burned through everything getting it up that far. I only got it halfway down the mountain before it ran out of gas. So I may have to do a quick recover on it, get those tanks refilled, and then bring it on over here. Although, well, I'm at half tank now. As long as I don't get myself too stuck, I bet I can make it. Is this brick right here? Nope, that's wood. I am playing half SnowRunner, half Catan here. Do not need wood, I need bricks. I have no sheep, but Season 8 of SnowRunner is on the test server for PC now. It should be available here on the Switch for me probably middle of October. It introduces farming, which is close, but I think it's focused just on potatoes for now. But they could add sheep. You could add livestock trailers and all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, I need 2 containers of cement, please, good sir. How do I get out of here? Let me go that way. First, let me see. Metal, wood. Oh, okay, that one's brick right there. All right, just for you, my nemesis, I am going to pick up an easy load of bricks rather than going out of my way to pick up a really convoluted load of bricks. Oop, tree. Yeah, there we go. Back, this way we go. So 2 pallets of cement will turn into 1 concrete slab. The concrete slab will exactly fill in those 2 slots that the cement will vacate. There's a convenient factor of economics. Keep pulling this hill. Don't, okay, I'll downshift a little forward. You are at least carrying a little bit of a load now. Nope, I don't want low. I want back to automatic. Oops, mud. We are good on fuel. We should have plenty for finishing off our run back to past the garage. Bricks. We didn't even have to come to a complete stop. With that much of a Cargo Pro. Usually the phrase Cargo Pro is followed by flipping the truck upside down. No such luck today. Clearly going to have to set myself up a little better for failure on the next contract, because I still haven't managed to flip today. Well, it did come close once. I thought long and hard about it. And I did knock a couple of those metal rolls, or at least one of those metal rolls, out of the trailer at one point. Physics tried to orbit me. Honey, I'm home horn. Okay, let's fuel up. There we go. Take break here for just a moment because I feel a sneeze coming on. I'm going to have the dump button ready for that. Nope, I think it's passed. Whew, that's lucky for everybody. Man, if you thought the Tatra horn was loud, wait till they get a load of me. Oh, jeez. The trailer just flew through the air, but it was kind enough to remain level while it did it. Don't turn so tight. There's a tree and a pole I've got to not hit. Honk, 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 honk. I'm pretty sure I've heard that random redeem go back and forth between the two horns, but there's also two trucks passing by that I don't remember it actually hitting. I think random has been given a little creative license. Which is fine, because I think the horns are probably better than the engines running by anyway. Let's see, I need to first unload the cement. Okay, I did that right. Then I need to go to the crafting section. I do not need blocks. I need a concrete slab. Slabs required to... Oh, hey, I actually already had one order of cement sitting here, so boom, there's a slab. Go one more over. So there's the leftover cement. And one slab. Do not put it on the loading platform. I ain't got that kind of time. Put it on the trailer. And leave that last cement there. I do not need it. Voila. Is that what my sneeze sounds like? No, sadly my sneezes aren't as loud or as high-pitched as my father's were, but they can be pretty bad. The real catch for me, though, is that a single achoo sneeze and you're done is almost unheard of for me. Realistically, the only time that ever happens is when I'm actually actively sick and my body is so messed up it only does the one. Usually when I sneeze, I like to fire off 6, 7, 8 all in a row. Nice high volume. They don't have to be high-pitched shriekers, but usually there's one or two in the batch when I get that many all going at the same time. I am a professional at keeping my mouth covered, though, so at least I don't spray the room with it. But if I didn't, it totally would. I would be firing off speed of sound projectiles in every direction. Because that's gross. Which is me. Okay, working on remembering where it is that I'm going. I've got 2 bricks and a concrete slab. That should finish this off, because I don't think the conveyor belts are 2-phase deliveries like the big buildings. I'm just going to keep telling myself that every 15-20 minutes, just in the hopes that that makes it be true, because I've heard that that works. I'm doing conveyor belt 3 first, because I had... okay, it doesn't say it anymore, but I needed metal rolls to complete building the ore processing factory. It needed 6. I went ahead and got cocky and balanced 10 of them up on the back of this trailer that only holds 5 to bring them back. So after I delivered my 6, I took a look at the 3 conveyor belt missions that are remaining. And this one, number 3, just happened to want 4 more rolls of metal rolls. So I thought, well, that is super handy and convenient, so I'm going to do them in reverse numerical order. So hopefully, with this load delivered, I'll actually only have 2 contracts left to go here in the Yukon. And then I think after Yukon, we move on to Wisconsin, which actually looks a lot like the Yukon, as I recall from some of the streams that I've seen. And I do know that they tinker a little bit with the logging formula there. Hey, be careful now. Let's see what... I think this may be the DLC where they introduced the concept of the logging missions. And then they kind of I think they backported some into the base game maps, or actually to all of the maps at the time. But with Wisconsin, suddenly you are going out and you have to harvest giant, like redwood-sized logs. And then you bring them back to the railway station and you have to load them into rail cars so that they get carried away. But then I think they actually animate the train there. So I look forward to that fun. And I think Wisconsin has absolutely no snow, which, despite being in a game called SnowRunner, I'm okay with getting out of the snow for a while. Kola was 100% snow. I think Alaska was 100% snow as well. The Yukon here, one map was maybe 2/3 snow. So it's really more like 1/3 of the Yukon. And a little bit of this map does too. Yeah, so maybe we'll call it half the Yukon had snow, but still, snow blows. And, oh, as a matter of fact, I have left the chained tires on this truck because those metal rolls I drove over the mountain to go collect those and bring them back because I had a bunch already built over there. So I don't have the super mud tires on. I've got the chained mud tires. They aren't quite as good, but we are getting the job done here. Depending on what I have left to deliver, though, I may just go ahead and leave these on. Otherwise, you have to recover back to the garage in order to change them out. Yeah, that's just extra work. Oop. Okay, normally I got to keep to the right. Actually, I have to remember to keep to the left this time. I have to avoid this monster-sized rock that I felt like driving straight over the middle of earlier. Squeeze in between them. Oh, keep going. Keep going. Use that diff lock. There you go. Kiss the Tatra, and then bend it back around this way. Set the brake. We're going to stop the engine to conserve fuel. And hopefully, we'll get a... Let me get the camera back out. We should get a little animation. Finish off the bricks. Let me get that queued up. And a concrete slab. Woo! Contract complete! Conveyor belt section 3 is online. The conveyor section that is closest to the ore sorting site is complete. Should we start it? Well, hold on. That's the one closest, but there are still 2 more I have not even touched yet. Let me go check on their requirements. See if anything's quick and easy. Concrete blocks. Okay, I gotta go back and do those. I think those are 1-to-1 with cement. Ooh, small pipes. Oh, wait, where's this conveyor section 2? This is someplace different. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I've been there. That's one of the ways you can access this island that lets you get out here to the roller derby thing that sits out in the middle there. It's a little extra drive to get to because you got to come in here and hook back or drive through the river, which does not sound dangerous at all. What does this warehouse have? So that has the wood planks. Oh, hey, that has some more cement. So if I grab all that cement and take it to the plant, that'll get me the blocks. So yeah, out there at the concrete plant. And so there's 4 wooden planks out that direction. There's also 4 out there on that island. So let's see, what else do we have out on number 1? Consumables, fuel, and metal beams. I Start tracking that one. Where does all that stuff? So I got... Okay, so there's my unlimited supply of metal beams. I've still got one sitting over there, so I want to grab that one. Where does the fuel come from? Maybe it's this warehouse over here. Okay, that warehouse has fuel. Yeah, the other reason for getting rid of all these houses that have stealable supplies is they stop slowing the cursor down when I try to move over it. That one is unlimited metal beams. So let's see, the trailer I've got could do all the metal beams. Could do 2 fuel, so I can get all the beams and the fuel at once. And that one, okay, so it also has the consumables out there. So actually almost everything I need lives out here on that section of island. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to see, I think conveyor 1 lives out to there. So it's got bricks and wood still living on its island. Naturally, it doesn't need any of those. It just needs metal beams, fuel, and consumables. Okay, fair enough. Oh, hey, and I was right. When I completed that, it actually did wall off that pass there. That is important to know, although that's part of the reason I picked this one first as well. There's never anything else I want to go that way for anyway, which is handy because now I can't again. These other oh, excuse me, Tatra. These other 2 conveyors, though. I just bully over this thing. Just keep going. Pretend it's not there. This Tega's a beast. Yeah, these other 2 conveyors are going to start cutting off access to places. I like doing this conveyor belt section 1 first. That's going to block off the easier access to that weird man-made island, because I don't need it anymore. The only thing it ever had out there was 2 of the contests. I hate the contests in this game. Normally I save them to last, but on this particular map, I went ahead and I did them first to get them out of the way. So fortunately, I don't have to go back out to that island ever again for anything, ever, as long as I live. So I don't mind bricking it up with a conveyor belt. Depending on how long this takes, I may not be able to finish this contract today. I will definitely not be able to finish them both to finish the region. That'll give me something to look forward to for the next time. Slow my wheel spin here so I can get traction again. There we go. I've actually learned some things about how this simulation works by playing it, but also by watching some of the really good streamers and how they get around some of this stuff. Downshift, there we go. For instance, experimenting on my own, I discovered that you can actually ford the river straight across right there to get to that cabin zone. How did I learn that? By just pointing my truck into the water and see what happens. I would not be mistaken to say I have also done that and discovered very, very bad things. Like learning that, hey, did you know that some of these trucks will float upside down the river? Fight across the mud. Wow, yeah, I am so close to being done with these. There is no way I come even near clearing out the rest of the houses. People just left materials lying around that they clearly didn't want or claim legal ownership of anymore. So I think with these last two missions, I'm finally gonna let go of the OCD of wanting to collect everything and move it around. I'm absolutely going to go make sure that I've collected all of my trucks and trailers and gotten them disposed of properly, though. I don't want all of that fuel waste lying around. Yeah, if you take a look around, obviously this is post-apocalyptic America. I'm sorry, post-apocalyptic Canada here. So we need to do as much as we can to save as much as we can. But only after we've made it perfectly safe to resume gold mining operations, which are historically known for their safety and total lack of, like ground arsenic and stuff. $50-50 on positive results? That might be optimistic. But when there are positive results, they are exciting. They totally make it worth it. I am at half a tank. And, oh, yeah, I took that bomb a lot better this time. Still didn't see it, but didn't take as much damage. I am going to go ahead, and since I'm going back out to that same warehouse, and made it last time, I'm sure everything will be fine this time. I'm going a little faster than normal there. So let's see, 4 consumables and 2 fuel. I'm quite certain that I can collect all of those. It wants the 1 cabin in cabin zone 2, but the gold, well, either the gold mine or the ore processing facility wanted 2 already in that same zone, so yay! Free requirements met. I'm going to assume that their assumption when they design these missions is that naturally you would do them in some kind of order, like building up the conveyor belts before you actually fix the facility. But I'm knowing that the facility is going to have a lot more jobs required, so it's going to take them more time to get that properly staffed. So I went ahead and made sure that that building was built and operational first, so that they can get to the hiring process. And by the time they've got enough people trained up on how it works, then I'll have the conveyor belts open. And actually, I built the mine first, so they're already started on the mining process. 100% safety guaranteed up there. So they've already got ore coming out ready to be refined. Once the refiners are up to speed, they'll get their damn conveyor belt. And then peace and harmony will reign here in the valley. The end. Then we'll see what kind of damage we can do to Wisconsin. Cargo management. Let's see. I am going to load the consumables in the trailer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I need 4. I bet they're alphabetical. Nope, they're not alphabetical. They're random. Oh, hey, the small pipes live here too. That's for the other contract. There is 1 fuel. I need 2, so I'm going to set it on the ground. Yep, on the ground right over there. Reset that to trailer. I think I'm stable enough here to go ahead and pick this guy up from my current position without having to mess around with throwing out the anchor. There you go, easy peasy. Oh man, Wrecking Wisconsin really should have been the subtitle for that one. The newest downloadable content for this game that was... Actually, it just came out for the Switch version here yesterday. Is called The Wolfpack. Oh! And it is a bunch of highway trucks, which, if you have watched this game played for more than 90 to 120 seconds, you realize have almost zero usefulness. Because on the rare instance where there actually is any highway in this game, it's usually just so that they can cover it in thick black ice. Oh, man, almost had a flip there. Almost had to set my counter. I did not see that phone pole hiding out behind me. This is going to take a real reconfigure here. Try to go straight this time. I went more straighter, I guess. That's what I needed. That's where I thought I was going the first time. I finally don't have the cover of night to give me an excuse for being blind. I was just all excited about the DLC with the new trucks in it. Did have a subtitle. Technically speaking, the seasonal phases on this game, they do give names. I don't remember all of them. There was one that I believe was called Search and Rescue. Yeah, I only know them by the region names as they've been introduced. Each DLC pack, each of the season DLC packs introduces one new region with between 1 and 4 maps, and usually a couple new trucks that they sprinkle around the map. Some of them you can unlock by finding them on the map, and some of them you can unlock by going into your garage and buying them there. The paid DLC truck packs, though, which are not part of the season passes, that you pay cold hard cash on those give you the new trucks. They just show up right there in your garage, so you have them ready to roll. So if you're playing in a hard mode, it's sort of a semi-cheat. With the Season 8 that's about to be out, it's going to complete the Year 2 pass. They are adding a New Game Plus mode, which I have researched to discover is not like a New Game Plus in almost any JRPG, but it's a new game where they've added a whole bunch of new variables that you can set. And one of them is, when I buy paid DLC, don't give me the truck automatically in my garage. Make me actually pay in-game currency to afford it. So that way you're kind of buying a little deeper into the hard mode. As I'm more than happy to repeat, I'm not in this for the hard mode yet. The hard mode will be coming, but I want to take a tour all the way through all the content of the game here in normal mode first. Primarily so I get kind of a feel for how the regions are laid out and how some of this really needs to work, so that I can cut out a whole bunch of the experimentation that I have to do now when it comes time to actually do a hard mode. So if hard mode's all about being a more professional trucker about it, then part of my profession is doing a bunch of research into the region before I dive in and start driving. Fuel carrier, fill up that Tega. No need to reverse to get back out on the road I needed to go to, because the pavement over here loops back around to where I want to go anyway. Could go out that dirt road, and it meets up a little farther down. That dirt road has mud that I can drive through without any real problem, but it's definitely a slower go. Closing in on 6 local time. So I'd like to at least get this delivery kind of wrapped up here. There are 2 orders of metal beams real close to conveyor belt section 1. I might go grab them. But if they're not, then I would probably call it at that point. I need to... Oh, yeah, that's right. I need to remember where I'm going. I'm actually going out over here, so I get to drive this load through the river. It's always an exciting run. To date, I have never actually lost it crossing the river here. This is another one of those areas where, hey, look, I see tire tracks that kind of lead down to the water's edge. I bet that's the way the developers are telling me that there's some sort of a river ford over here somewhere. Oh, look. There's some nice solid white rocks. I can drive on these. These will keep me up kind of high. And, hey, does this look like a raised bed of rock over here? And kersploosh. In we go. Slow that down. Tipping is rarely a problem, but high centering is. Looks like I got whatever rock I was hung up on. I managed to get myself back off of it. I've tried doing a little experimentation to see if the white rocks stick up a little higher, but the darker areas in between tend to be a little more level. I think if I keep one set of tires down in the level there, it helps a lot, making sure that I've got good grip and don't high center myself. I think this trip I missed a little bit. But we're through. Clamber up onto this island. Do a little chicane through the rocks here. And there's a nice rickety wooden bridge that gets me over to a tertiary island. And that should be where I can drop this stuff off. I tell you what, you want to stay kind of high on there anyway. Fine, just stay high. Try not to tip over. Try not to get bogged down in the mud. There we go. That's the custom sticker I need for my truck in this game, is try not to get stuck in the mud. Oh, nope, don't fall, don't fall. Hey, here's that two-slot trailer with the cabin that kept falling out. Stupid piece of junk. And now it's also in my way. I will push you into the river if you make me. And then I will have to go get a giant crane to come and rescue you. Okie dokie. See if I shut him down. That will automatically release the fuel. That's okay. Get the crane out of the way. He wants 4 consumables. I have 4. He wants 2 fuel. I've got the 1. Then that drops it in place. I pack it. I deliver it. Bam! Just like that. 559. Oh man, if I needed bricks, those are all sitting right here. There's wood. There's more brick. Oh man, where are all the metal frames? Brick, brick, brick. Wood, brick, wood, wood. Wow, the only metal frame? The only metal frame is left out there. Does it have 2? Oh, it's got the 2 that I want too. Okay, that'll have to be the one to go for then. Let's see if I can get turned around here. This will probably not end terribly well. Oh, bounce. Climb over that. Just hug the tree a little bit. Nope, straighten as well. Nope, I said straight. Oh, I want to overcorrect. Not that far. Oh, now it's a oh, now I've Austin powered myself. Go, winch to the rescue. Sub-ideal, but I think I can make it work. A real trucker would be aghast at that maneuver, but Oh, fake physics. Trucking looks just fine. Stupid red trailer, get out of the way. Oops. Got it severely off camber there. Let's see, all things considered, those metal frames are not too far from here. Ow. I am going to get conveyor belt section 1 up and running. Then I will probably call it an evening. I'll wrap this up on my next session. Where do we need to go? Oh man, that lighting is at a rough spot for me. I'm having to kind of guess at where my road is. I think this is it. Crawl gear. Follow the tire tracks. Yeah, that is how it worked. Just swim the truck across. That is also how it works. Okay, here we go. Back to automatic. This is just a little mud. How bad could it be, right? I get flashbacks to first starting this game back in good old Black River, Michigan, where you have nothing but two-wheel drive highway tires to try to maneuver through the tiniest bit of mud. The Bardic one's visit early on, he's lamenting that he's a little past that point, but he's still back there in Michigan with the lower end low-grade American trucks with the low-grade upgrades. Definitely make a difference here. Okay, I've already got enough fuel. I can go pick up those beams first. Oh, turn. Nope, turn back. And do my gas stop on the way back. Ow, my suspension. Oh, look at this, look at this. I'm going to not crash through that deep hole this time. Just going to give it a bit of a love tap with the right-hand side. My honey, I'm home, but sorry, I got to go out on the road again, honk as I go by the home garage. Try not to crash into the tree. This says I've got 3 zones available for picking stuff up. The one at the bottom of the screen I know is that one warehouse that has 1 set of metal beams. One of these at the top here is the house that has 2 metal beams waiting for me. I bet the other one is that warehouse that seems to have everything else. That's probably where my unlimited beams could come from. But I'm willing to accept unlimited fuel and unlimited cash, but never unlimited resources. Well, okay, not never. Once I've run out of limited resources, then I'm fine with unlimited resources. I am not going to go grab the 1 beam or the infinite beams. I'm going to go grab this exactly the right number of beams that I need. Plus, it provides me one more opportunity, don't drive into the river, to liberate some of these resources, set them free from their confinement at their little construction, or probably in this case, reconstruction zones. I assume that these are all people and businesses that are desperately trying to rebuild their buildings after this massive flood has come through. And of course, I am doing the most natural thing in the world and completely screwing up that plan for them by stealing their goods. Metal beams 1, metal beams 2. This is going to be perfect. As long as I don't jackknife while trying to get out of the driveway. Usually when I jackknife with a trailer, it's one of those stupid dolly trailers that has the pivoting set of wheels up in the front end, right behind the hitch. Those seem on the verge of impossible to actually make go backwards without deciding to just go ahead and start pivoting. And you very, very quickly end up with that trailer tongue turned at a 90-degree angle to the truck, to both the truck and the trailer at that point. And then you give it that little more gas in reverse because you think you can, make those rear wheels on the trailer skid just a little bit, and nope, everybody goes sideways. And it's learning these things, and I've got to be well over 250 hours in this game now. Learning things like that help contribute to the flip counter over there. I think I've managed to keep it in single digits for the few weeks that I've been running it. Though every so often, I'll run into one of those full-on Monty Python's Flying Circus moments, where I will legitimately flip one truck because I was pushing it just a little bit hard someplace. And so then I'll bring in another truck to fix it, and I'll flip it because of something dumb. And then I'll try to bring in another truck to flip it back over, and then it'll catch a physics rocks, and it'll get launched into orbit, and it'll land completely upside down in the middle of a river someplace. So then I go grab another truck, and another one, and another one. And by the end of my 2-hour session, if I had been streaming and keeping the counter going, I would find myself at like 14, 15 flips. Perfect example was that red wagon filled with a cabin that was just too high centered, trying to drag it along that 45-degree angle shelf road with the rocks and the undulation and everything. I just kept flipping it and flipping it and flipping it and flipping it. And only once or twice did it flip the truck too. But it would always tilt that red wagon over, the cabin would fall out of it, and then with the reduced weight, the wagon would flip back onto all of its wheels again. And what do I need to do? No, don't turn off the beacons, that's unsafe. I need to refuel. But I am pretty sure that I have decided that unpacking the cargo because of the angle is not a flip, but causing the cargo to unpack and then fall out or off of whatever it is being carried on, that does count as a flip. If it's something that I have balanced on the back of the truck and it just gets bounced out, that does not count as a flip. So I've just made up some rules. So earlier I hit a physics rock that threw the rear end of my truck, I don't know, in game scale, it came up over the height of its own cab. So, that's a good 10, 15 feet up in the air. So the front end of the trailer came up with it. And it only threw out one of the metal rolls that I had balanced on top, but it didn't unpack anything, and all the other rolls actually managed to stay put. Close enough to it. So I did not count that one as a flip. But if it had knocked any of the internal, the packed down rolls loose and thrown them out, then I would have had to have counted it. Luckily, it didn't introduce any sort of tip. It was just a up and down in the middle. So tip counter remains 0 today. It's also by virtue of the fact that the hard contracts are pretty much all out of the way now. Ooh, and I get to Wisconsin though, and I start scouting. Scouting avoids the rule of I've typically been just single digit on the flip counter. Scouting missions, when I'm opening up a brand new map, that I am flipping everywhere, especially when I start out with the Scout 800 with all of the fuel tanks sitting up on top. That thing is so top heavy. I'm surprised sometimes when it doesn't flip over just driving down the flat road. Because it will if you hit a rock in the middle of the flat road. Oops. Downshift to help the hill and the mud. Go up low plus, get a little extra speed. Decided last time that just going straight over this is a good maneuver. Just have to watch my angle as I come around over here. Go back to auto so I can maybe go a little faster. Nope, no I can't because I am hooked on something. I bet there's a trailer leg probably in the mud right there. So we're going to end off our run with a tiny bit of winch excitement. Okay, that is the end of the tiny excitement. Thank you all for coming. Oh, no, don't flip now. Or do. It could be fun. At least I've got the truck with the crane on it. Let's see if the Red Wagon causes any issues. No, we are issueless with the Red Wagon this time. Oh, hey, you know what? Putting in a little thinking here. When I drop these beams off, it's going to complete this section right here, which means I will not be able to make the casual U-turn in this spot. And by U, of course, I mean my 18-point turn. So let me see. Oh, okay, I can't go any farther because there's a great big rock right there. Let me see if I can get myself spun around a little here first. Yeah, that should be good enough. Turn off the beacons because I'm done with safety. Hit the cargo management. Let me double check my delivery. I've got the cabin. Got everything else. Let me get those fireworks ready. One more. Boom! Contract completed. Section 1 is complete. We can move on. We can move on to Section 2. When I finish Section 2, it'll say, hey, we can probably move on again, except then it will be too late. We will be up and running, and everything will be perfect. Let me collect my rewards. Let me shut down my engine. Because with that, we have finished doing our snow running for the evening. KDP, if you are still there, thank you very much for dropping by. I really appreciate it when you and Nico come by, throw in some stuff. Hey! And there's some free biddies to go on top to top off the night. I still only have my happy birthday loaded, but you're going to get it anyway. Over on Miss Silvermoon's stream, my current #1 snow runner stream. Solar, there's a guy named Solar. It's his birthday today, so that happy birthday goes out to him. But the sparkles around it, those are all yours, KDP. Let me take a quick look. Let's see. You know what? There is a little more snow running to be had out there. Let me... no, that is not how you spell his name. That is not even close to how you spell his name. Where did it go? Let's see if this will work. It's always fun to try kicking off a raid. Invalid username. Invalid. Oh, you know what it is? Everything else on Twitch, I can put the @ sign in front, but not the raid. I bet this will work. There we go. We got a raid ready to go. We're going to go visit Please Don't Cry. He is a great SnowRunner streamer. He likes to drop by in a lot of the ones I see in order to do multiplayer. Not sure what he's doing, but we're going to go check him out, see what he's got. So thanks for coming, and I'll see you again later.